Hello, everyone. To today's meeting, um, we are continuing with this series that is Art of Religion into a personal walk with God. So I'm going to do a short prayer before we start. My Father, thank you for another opportunity to share with your people. I invite your presence even as we share this word. Cause the word to go to different ears and meet them at a different point of their needs. Interpret the words we are going to share today according to how they need it. Thank you, my Father. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. So, like I said earlier, this is a part of our series, Art of Religion into a Personal Walk with God. So the topic today is treat one another with love or in love. So we are all God's people and God wants us to walk in love. So if we are going to walk in love, we need to treat each other out of love. Our text is taken from 1 Corinthians chapter 13. I'll start reading from verse 1. So, but I'm not reading that place yet. So let me first define love. Our topic is love, treating each other with love. Scientifically speaking, love is a force of nature. It is a powerful and neurological condition that influences or causes a positive attitude towards another person. That is, the powerful condition cause a positive impact. That positive impact will now be what will be seen. Love is a complex emotions, behaviors associated with strong feelings of affection, protectiveness, warmth, and respect for another person. So this is just to define what love is scientifically. So it is actually difficult to define love, but we can just make do with the simple definition that the emotion evoked by this force called love make the person who is loving to be pleasantly disposed, to please and not to hurt the other person. You that you love another person, that emotion called love is going to cause you to react positively to the other person, the person you're loving. You're going to display positive emotions. You won't hate the person. You won't do the person wrong. So the aftermath of the love you have the person will cause you to treat the person with kindness. That is why around us that's why around us, within human beings, within us adults, we want to give things to those we love. We want to keep giving gifts and other good things to our children because we love them. So that's also why at the early stage of people who are in love, they always want to please each other, because that's the product of love. You want to give, you want to please, you want to satisfy, you want to make the other person happy. So what is the aftermath of it? You want to give the person something. I believe this can make it easier for us to understand why God wants to give us things to show his love for mankind. So I'm trying to say that if you're not comparing love, if you're representing it back to God, that's why God, because he loves us, he wants to give us. He keeps giving us. That's why most of the thing we do is to pray, ask God, God, give me this, God, give me this. Why is he giving us all those things? Because it's out of love. He loves us. God, give me a job. He give you a job. God, give me this. God, give me this. Because out of love, God is willing to give you all you're asking him because he loves you. That is why God releases his only son in order to show us how much he loves us, how much he can sacrifice. Out of love, which is not quantifiable, which is not measurable to any human being alive, God demonstrated his immense love towards us by giving us his best gift. His best gift is his son. He gave him to us to die for us on the cross of Calvary. So this is now time for me to read our passage. So our text today is, like I said earlier, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. I'm reading from verse 1. So he said, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have no charity, or some translations say love, I am become a resounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I can move mountains and have no charity, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have no charity, it profited me nothing. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity suffereth long and it is kind. Vaunted not itself. It does not puff itself up. It is not prideful. Does not behave itself unseemly. Seeth not her own. Is not easily provoked. It thinketh no vain, no evil. rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. Love beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, and endureth all things. So these are some of the attributes of love I just read to us. So love always protects, always trusts, and always hopes, and always perseveres. That's the end of this particular translation. This passage we have read now shows us that God places love more important than any other spiritual gift. You see, this passage is trying to compare the aftermath of if you receive a prophecy. When that prophecy comes to pass, that is the end of that chapter. When you are speaking in tongues, these are all spiritual gifts. When you are speaking in tongues, when you keep speaking in tongues, at the time you will stop. Even though you have spoken out some words, but for that section, that is the end of that speaking in tongues. It's trying to say that most of all these other spiritual gifts will come to an end, but that love continues. Love abided. Love, the fruits of love keep going. God ranked love the highest among the spiritual gifts. This is because of the nature of love. If you love someone, you have to be patient with the person. You have to endure. If you love somebody, you will not be quick to get annoyed. You just be a little more patient with the person. If you love someone, you be kind to the person. Love is not easily provoked or angered. Love will cause you to want to please the person you love. You want her or him to be happy. You don't want any harm to come to the person. Because love have these beautiful characteristics or attributes, that is why God asks us that no matter how many spiritual gifts we long for or we have or may operate in, that love is the greatest. God values love so much because God knows that if we really love each other, things will be better around us. The Bible took time to explain that all other gifts will come to an end, but love stands tall above all others. Prophecies will end, tongues will be stilled, word of knowledge will come to pass, but love never fails. Love is the fulfillment of the covenant. When you have love towards someone, it is difficult to hurt the person, because when you want to hurt the person, it's as if you're hurting yourself because you love the person. So it's difficult to hurt the person. So, since love is so important, how do I give love? How do I receive love? So I now started with the God's kind of love. That is John chapter 3 verse 16. This is how God demonstrated his own love to us. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. This is God's own demonstration of love. Because he loved us so much, he did not withhold anything to himself. He wants us to know that he's serious. He's calling us to come to him. He's calling us unto repentance. He wants us to serve him. And there's already sin in the world. So to demonstrate that he's so much love, it's okay. Instead of all of us to perish, instead of all of us to, in the past generations, when men sin like Sodom and Gomorrah, either God is, or the generation of Noah, either God is using a water to end that generation, or that of Sodom and Gomorrah, like they use fire. But now God is saying that he doesn't need to do all those again. God wants us to come to him. What he did was, now out of love, he demonstrated how much he loves us, that if he can give his Son for us to know that he's serious, maybe that will let us know how much he values us, how much he loves us. Now, I said that, okay, since I said that love is a powerful condition, that does not mean that you can't control it. Yes, it's a powerful force, but you can control it. You can decide who to love. You can decide who to give it to. You can decide who to love. To love is a decision. You can decide to love people. You decide to love. You can decide to love your neighbor. You can decide to love your co-worker. You can also invite love by your own positive attitudes. I mean, we should love people unconditionally, but certain attributes in some human beings make it easier for us to love them. You can also make yourself more available to be loved. If you are someone that is very cantankerous, you are fighting people, they won't want to love you, but it might be a little hindrance because they don't want you to maybe insult them. So you can also place yourself in a place where it is easy for people to love you. That's what I'm trying to explain. But we are asked to, even though we are asked to give love to one another, irrespective of the person's behavior, whether the person behaves right or not, just love the person unconditionally. That's the kind of love God has for us. God loves us irrespective of our behavior. He didn't put any condition before he loved us. He just loves us. You can choose to direct your love to God and God's people. Yeah, but among us, we can also see how some people direct their own love. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's wrong to have pets. But you see, some people demonstrate so much love on pets and animals, if you're wondering. It's all this love for an animal. Some people get to make, they won't talk to anybody, they go straight to their pets. So my point is, so which means love can be directed to where you want it to go. You demonstrated so much love to the animal because you want to do that. The animal didn't force you to love him or her. But human beings can demonstrate, take their love to where they want it. So that's what I'm saying. So if you choose to love God's people, you can also do that. Now, this ability of humans to direct their love to pets, who does not do anything for them? Your pet, your dog, your cat can't wash plates for you. Can't even clean the house for you. Yet, despite that, you're able to love them. You love your animals. So, because you can direct your love to an animal, that also showed me that if you chose to love anybody, you can. The animal is only creating problem for you. The animal will mess up a place, you come and clean it. There's nothing he's doing for you yet. You are still patient with the animal. You didn't throw the animal away. You still love the animal, the pet. So how much more human being God created? What is so difficult for you to also tolerate or ignore the wrong behaviors and love the person? As we are patient with pets who are less important to God, we should be able to tolerate and love people who are very important to God, our Creator. If God can be patient with us, I'm saying that we should also be patient with one another. The Bible says in Ephesians 4:2-3, be always humble, gentle, and patient. Show your love by being tolerant with one another. Do your best to preserve the unity, which the Spirit gives by means of the peace that binds you or binds us together. The peace of God binds us together. The Spirit of God doesn't like disunity. So that's peaceful environment. That's where the Spirit of God drive. When there's no peace, you're just carrying the Spirit of God away. So I said, brethren, this is a call for us to do a little more in loving each other. We should love who God have loved. God value human beings so much. That is one of Satan's anger. The way God value human beings, the way God puts the human beings in authority. So how can you say that you love God yet you don't love your fellow human being? If God has placed human beings so much, I am saying that we should love human beings, love our fellow human beings. Now, if you say you love God, you should start with the people you're seeing. If you've not seen God, start with demonstrating the love of God by loving one another. Before you can now make it easy, that will now help us know that you can love God. When you are loving the people you can see around you. It does look as if there's enough love. It does look as if there's enough love among God's children. I don't know why these things are the way they are. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake. I said, it does look as if there is not enough love among us. That is, we don't show enough love to each other. Now, I said, I don't know why this thing is the way it is. You know, one man of God said, he has not met somebody he doesn't like. So he already programmed his mind to love everybody. When he's meeting you for the first time, he's already loving you. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't know why it is difficult for us to operate that way. Condition our mind. Don't just put your mind, oh, I don't like these people. These people are this way. No. Program your mind the way you can love people when you meet them for the first time. Then those around you also find a way to love them. See, there must be some good things in them. Focus on those good things in them. That will make it easier for you to love them. It is something love is something we can train ourselves to give to other people. We can train ourselves to do this. We can do it. When we tolerate one another, there will be peace. And the Spirit of God can move freely. The Spirit of God does not dwell in strife and big. That's what I said earlier. The Spirit of God prevail where people are in unity, in laughter, in joy, in one mind. Once there is bickering, fighting, animosity, God is love, so He can't stay there. He can't stay there. So all those bickerings among us, it just asking the Spirit of God to leave. So I wrote out another place here. I say also in Romans chapter 13 verse 8. The scripture said, be under obligation to no one. The only obligation you have is to love one another. God is saying that it's like you shouldn't owe anybody anything. Let's no human being be somebody you're obligated to. Don't owe them anything. The only thing we owe each other is love. Don't owe anybody anything. That's what this passage is saying. Whoever does this has obeyed the law. See what the Bible said, that if you have loved people, you have already obeyed the law. See how much God values love. See how important God values loving one another. The reason of this is because He knows that if we genuinely walk in love, there's so much advantage and benefits. So I wrote out some things. I said, if you're walking in love, you will be willing to help each other and also pray for each other. If your friend, if your member, if your sister or brother in the Lord, even not in the Lord, if you love him or her, if you're walking in love, when he's in problem, you will not be. You see, when we don't help people, I categorize that selfishness. Selfishness is when you think of yourself, me, myself, and I. Everything is runs about you. You can't make a little space to accommodate the next person. Come and help me and drop me to the place. No. This is my time to sleep. I can't go there. That's why I said. Apart from you really, except you really plan what to do, it's different if you already have program to do. But if you're a little free and somebody needs some help, drop me to the place. You can accommodate and help the person. So I also say that when you are willing to help people, when we love each other, we will be willing to help people and also pray for them. We should pray for one another. That's what God asks us to do. So God knows that to walk in love is important. If you're walking in love, it becomes easy for you to pray for your friend or for your neighbor or one another. The person you are in anger with, the person you are in animosity with, the person you are not talking to, it's difficult to pray for the person. But if you have a friend, a church member, or a sister that you are in good relationship with, you have a very good relationship with, as you're doing your own prayer, you remember, oh God, remember such a person, remember Mr. A, remember Mr. Help him in his business, help me in this. So because you are in good relationship with the person, when you're praying, that person will naturally come to your mind to also pray for the person. But if you're not talking to the person, I bet you won't remember to pray for the person. So when we walk in love, we will be patient with each other. We'll be patient with each other and reduce fault finding. Somebody can do something. The person is not something you want. You don't want it that way. You can be a little patient, understand. Let it go. You can be where you work. Somebody did something the way you don't like, or maybe you open your office anyhow, or something. No need to just let the anger start. You can just tolerate. Be a little more tolerant. And I said here also, reduce fault finding. When we find fault, it reduces the relationship. But when we look out, when we ignore some things, it can strengthen the relationship. When everything the person do, oh, you did wrong. It's not like this. Why did you? The relationship is being strained because the person will now become a little more defensive, and the flow of communication will reduce. So sometimes the person do something you don't like, don't complain, just let it go. Especially if you have complained of one thing again, don't complain for another one. Let the other one endure maybe for another day. So if you keep complaining, you did this, which time do you guys have for laughter? The atmosphere, the environment is already altered. The flow of communication will reduce. So we should reduce fault finding among each other. Fault finding, it hinders, it does not threaten relationship. Loving one another will cause us to have compassion for unbelievers, and thus will make efforts to witness Christ to them, as well as invite them to our church. What I'm saying is that here is, if we love one another, we have unbelieving friends and unbelieving relations. Because you love them, you'll be imagining, how would this person be in hellfire if I don't preach the gospel to him? So out of the love you have for that your friend or for that your sister, you will find a way to convince the person to come to church. If you witness to the person and he or she refused to accept Christ, you just invite him to church. I have a friend. The first time I tried to witness, he didn't even allow me to finish talking. He said, stop it. All those people's church, you go there and disturb everybody. I was like, he didn't allow me to finish my sermon. She didn't allow me to land. He just talk as okay. But I so much love her. She's my friend. She's so nice to me. Just like she's not a believer. So I start strategizing. How else can I approach her? Okay, I keep saying, okay, come to church. And if you don't allow me to talk, come to church. So I'm trying to say that out of love, you will not give up on your friend. You will not give up on your relation. You keep seeking other ways to let the gospel get to the person. You keep, okay, you don't want to hear my voice, come to church, and maybe you hear our pastor's voice. You keep inviting the person to church until, and those kind of people that bring up such kind of animosity when you want to preach sermon to them. Those are the people, by the time they give their life to Christ, they'll be so radical for Christ. So what I'm saying is that loving one another or loving our fellow human beings will cause us to have compassion. Compassion of how will I watch this guy, how will I watch this my friend go to hellfire. So you want to preach someone to the person, you want to invite them to your church. Love will cause us to forgive each other, even when they offend us. We can reprogram our mind to be able to do these things. When somebody offends you, out of love, you forgive. The Bible says, the place where they say, love does not keep count of sin. You sin against me 10 times, 5 times. Love will not allow you to keep counting. It doesn't keep record. That's record keeping. You're not even asked to keep record of who or how many times somebody hurt us. The disciple of Jesus Christ asked him, how many times can my neighbor offend me and I'll forgive? Jesus said 77 times, times 7. So how will you count that? So love does not allow us to keep record of sin. Somebody offend you today, you count. Monday, Tuesday, no. Let it go. Forgive the person so that the relationship will keep strengthened. So I said we can reprogram our mind to be able to love people. You can reprogram our mind to be able to do these things. It can be done. It's doable. That's why I keep saying that if we can love an animal, a pet, that does nothing good to us, I don't see how we cannot also position our mind to love our fellow human being. And also, the Holy Spirit is available to help us. When you call upon him, I'm finding it difficult to love this person because he did this. The Holy Spirit will help you to know, to teach you how to, things to look at, so that by the time you know you're loving the person. Love will cause us not to speak against one another behind them or make utterances that will promote disunity. I'm trying to say that if you love somebody, there's some things you will not do against the person, because you know that if this person hears this thing, it will hurt him, it will hurt her. So you might have to close your mouth. God knows that if we embrace genuine love for one another, all other aspects of the commandments will become easy for us to do, to fulfill. Like all the things I said here now. If you are kind to somebody, if you are patient with the person, if you forgive the person, if you have compassion for the person, most of the commandments are around here. It's been around here. Of course, you won't steal the person's things. You won't do things that will hurt the person. So if you have genuine love for someone, if you're practicing love, it's like it's making your Christian walk easier. Most of the sins are committed out of love. You don't love the person, you lie against the person. You don't love the person, you take what belongs to the person. You don't care. But when you walk in love, it will help us to be able to fulfill the remaining part of the commandments. Love is the greatest. Love will cause us not to speak against one another behind them or make utterances that will promote disunity. God knows that if we embrace genuine love for one another, all other aspects of the commandments become easy for us to fulfill. Let's look at John, 1 John 3, chapter 3, verse 17 to 18. Now, I'll read it later, but let me just say something here. Now, suppose a person has enough to live on and notices another believer in need. Oh, okay, sorry. This is already I've already written it out. This is the place I said I will read later. This is where I've already written it out. So now, this is what the Bible is saying. Suppose a person has enough to live on and notices another believer in need. How can God's love be in that person if he doesn't bother to help the other believer? Dear children, we must show love through our actions that are sincere, not through empty words. This passage is saying that if you say you love somebody, you can share what you have with the person. If you have enough to eat, you have enough to drink, and your neighbor does not have, how can you say you love the person if you can't share with him? You watch her, he's hungry. You watch her, have no clothes to wear, and you have piles of clothes everywhere. And you say you love the person. The love must be demonstrated. That's what this passage is saying. How can we say we love you, and you watch the person wear the same clothes over and over? Acts of love, you'll be able to sacrifice. Okay, I don't use these ones enough. I've used this one for the last 6 months. I've not used this clothes. Give it to the person. That's what this place is saying. If you say you love somebody, that love must be demonstrated. You must show your love through your actions that are sincere, not empty words. The Bible says, show me your works. Show me your works, and I will show you my actions. I also give us another example of what love is. Where he say, if you have things to give, if you have eaten and your neighbor has not eaten, you have some things you can share with the person. That is demonstration of love. So I want to give us another passage that does not demonstrate love. In the book of Isaiah 58, chapter 58, verse 7, it reads, share your food with the hungry. Give shelter. Excuse me. Okay. Share your food with the hungry. Give shelter to the homeless. Give clothes to those who need them, and do not hide from relatives who need your help. So this is what the Bible is saying, asking us to do. Let me read it again. Just understand it more. Share your food with the hungry. Give shelter to the homeless. Give clothes to who need them, and do not hide from relatives who need your help. This is a direct instruction from God. God is telling us to do this. Share your food with people that need it. Don't be selfish. Don't eat alone. Don't care for yourself alone. If you have and you can spare, give others. That's what God is saying. Now, I'm trying to demonstrate to us what love is not. Now, this is a direct instruction from God, according to Scripture. God said that we should share our food with the poor. This is an act of love. That's giving. That's, you didn't think of keeping it to yourself. You give it to the person. That is a demonstration of love. But after this should not become, why I say this is what love is not. After sharing that food to the poor, but after sharing your food to the poor, and don't go and let everybody know what you have done. I mean, in a demeaning way. I mean, you can say something that, but there's a way you say it. It's no longer out of love. Don't say it in a demeaning way that is no longer love. We are called to help people, but not to destroy them or dehumanize them because we're helping them. After the help, let God reward you. Don't use your mouth and spoil what you have done. If you use your mouth to announce to others how you have been helping, for example, I've been helping Mr. James, I've been helping Mr. John. If not because of me, Mr. James would have been hungry, would have died of hunger. For example, if you say such things, the blessings God's supposed to give you, the people that will praise you, really? You have been the person helping this man, they have praised you. You receive your reward. But I'd rather have God to give me my reward. What's my point? Even though you're helping people, you should don't use your mouth and scatter it and tell the whole world. Because of me, the person can do this. There are certain times a call for, if there's something you're doing, you want to tell somebody, but you don't say it in a way that it will cause the person pain if you hear what you said about him or her. You be careful how you say these things. Be careful how you take care of people. You can be taking care of people and at the same time hurting them. Don't tell people, if not because of me, now you would have been on the street. If not, the person is crying, telling God, really? So even though we are doing the act of love, it should still be done in reverence, not in prideful way. I'm the one helping you. You'd have died of hunger. You'd have been on the street. No, those are not right words for a human. The person some people will tell, instead of that kind of help, forget it, keep your help. Let me just actually be on that street. There are some things we do. The good thing we are doing, Satan will go there and manipulate it. It's no longer something that will give God joy. When the person you're helping now cry unto God, see how the person is talking about me. The person is not happy, God also will not be happy. So we should be careful. In anything we should do must be done in love. Love is important. Love is what God expects from us. Even in our speech, there should be demonstration of love. We all know what we can say to somebody and somebody can take offense. We all know how to talk to somebody and somebody will not take offense. We should be careful in what we do. A true demonstration of love should not only be when you give somebody something. It should be in what you say. It should be in your actions. It should be how you treat people. That's why the topic is treating people in love. Treating people, showing love to people is a big one. It doesn't manifest when you just take food, take this food and eat. No. The manner you give the food, the manner of your speech, your action, the way you treat the person. God is watching us, remember. And each cry of pain from the person you're helping goes back to who? The maker. Each cry of pain, the person you're helping due to what you said, you go back to God to cry. See how this person is taking my name all over the place. God will not be happy. And your blessing, you're just jeopardizing your blessing. You might not experience that blessing from that act you have done. So, I say it again. God ranked love as the highest. Every other gift will come to an end. If you see the word of prophecy, when that prophecy comes to pass, that chapter is finished. But love continues. It's that of love that Jesus Christ came to save us. Jesus Christ had no sin of his own. He was righteous. And God had no business allowing him to die, if not because out of love you have for us. So that's why God asking us over and over. That's why if you did not forgive somebody, don't bother going to God and say, God, I sinned, forgive me. God will be watching the person you didn't forgive. So to God, love is a big one. Love is a big one. I think because he did his best. He gave his best. I mean, if he should give his only son, I don't know why he would not expect us to love. So, brethren, love is a lot. Love means a lot to God. And when you walk in love, it changes the situation around you. The people you love will also be drawn to God. The love you're showing is what will bring them to God. If you're not showing love and you're preaching sermon, people will be watching you and say, which sermon is this person preaching? Does he even smile? Is not even kind? Does he even greet anybody? What kind of sermon are you preaching? Is this sermon of love or sermon of what? So whatever you're doing, especially for God, love should be showcased. Do that of love. Treat people fine. Treat people good. Treat people out of love. Love is patient. Love is not easily provoked. Love can overlook sin and focus on why are you giving the love? You're giving the love because you receive from God, and God asked you to give love. So actually, when you give love, you're just obeying God, and that's what is in the place we read. It said you are fulfilling the law when you're you're showing love. God gave Himself up for us. He now asks you, before I accept you, do the same. Love your neighbor, love your people, love your friends, love one another. So if you step down on your members, your friends, you don't care for them, treat them anyhow, you say, oh, you love God. Remember, you've not seen God. You only read good about the Bible, and He lives in you, and He talks to you. So how about the people you see physically, related with physically? Is that not how to condition yourself to love them? So that's our topic for today, treating people with love. So brethren, let's treat each other with love and respect, and God will be happy that we did this. Thank you.